My mother-in-law tried to make us jealous, but ended up getting jealous herself. So my husband Jake and I have been married for 3 years now, and his mom Carol has this weird thing where she constantly tries to prove she's still the most important woman in his life. Like she'll call during our date nights pretending she's having some emergency that requires Jake to drop everything and rush over. But it's always something ridiculous, like she can't figure out how to work the TV remote, or she heard a weird noise outside that turned out to be a neighbor's cat. The worst part is she always tries to one-up whatever we're doing. If we go to a nice restaurant, she suddenly books herself at an even fancier place the next week and posts about it all over Facebook with captions like, "Treating myself because I deserve the best." If I buy a new dress, she shows up to the next family dinner wearing something way more expensive and makes sure everyone notices. But the breaking point came when Jake and I planned this amazing weekend getaway to this cute bed and breakfast about 2 hours away. We'd been saving up for months and were so excited to finally have some alone time. I posted one photo of our room with the caption, "Perfect weekend with my favorite person," and didn't think much of it. Well, apparently Carol saw it and lost her mind. Within an hour, she was calling Jake saying she'd spontaneously decided to take a solo trip to the same exact town. Not only that, she booked herself at the resort right across the street from our bed and breakfast, the fancy one with the spa and everything. She kept texting us photos of her room, her meals, her spa treatments, stuff like enjoying champagne by myself because I don't need anyone else to have a good time, and solo trips are so much more relaxing than dealing with other people. She even showed up at the same restaurant we went to for dinner on Saturday night and made this huge scene about how she was living her best life and didn't need anyone. Jake was getting annoyed, but I told him I had an idea. See, Carol's biggest weakness is that she's absolutely terrified of being left out of anything. She has major FOMO and can't stand the thought that something fun might be happening without her. So Sunday morning, I posted this photo of Jake and me at breakfast with the caption, "Can't wait for our surprise activity today," and made sure to tag our location. Then I had Jake call his mom and casually mention that we'd met this really cool couple at the bed and breakfast who were showing us around some hidden local spots that only longtime residents know about. Within 20 minutes, Carol was blowing up our phones wanting to know what we were doing and where we were going. She tried to invite herself along, but Jake told her it was couples only. You could practically hear her grinding her teeth through the phone. Here's the thing though, there was no other couple and no secret activity. We just went back to our room and watched Netflix for the rest of the day. But I kept posting these vague photos of random stuff like a hiking trail and some local shops with captions like, "So grateful for new friends," and "Best day ever." Meanwhile, Carol spent her entire Sunday driving around town, trying to figure out where we were and what we were doing. She posted increasingly desperate photos of herself at different locations, with captions like, "Exploring on my own is so much better anyway," but you could tell she was miserable. She even tried following us when she spotted our car, but we just drove to a grocery store and bought snacks. The best part was when we got home and Carol called to ask about our new friends. Jake told her they were this amazing couple who owned a local business and had invited us back anytime. He said they were so interesting and fun and that we'd exchanged numbers and everything. Carol was so jealous she could barely speak. She kept asking for their contact information so she could reach out to them too, since she was in the area. When Jake said they specifically mentioned they don't usually connect with people outside their friend group, she completely lost it. She ended up spending way more money than she planned on her revenge trip, got no actual relaxation out of it, and drove herself crazy with jealousy over people who didn't even exist. Meanwhile, we had a perfectly peaceful weekend once we stopped answering her calls.